Hello, hello, and welcome back to another beautiful episode of You Are the Masterpiece, where we understand that we do not have to be perfect as long as we are taking the effort. And we are all work in progress and the masterpiece at the same time. And if this is the first time you're tuning in, hello and welcome to this beautiful space. My name is Irina Portnova, and I'm a manifestation star because I manifested great things consciously in my life and I'm here to teach you how to do it with fun, ease, and grace. And I am very excited to introduce my beautiful guest, Dr. Terry Levine. Terry, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be with you. It's going to be magical.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So, tell a little bit about yourself and what you are doing in this beautiful world.
I work with high achieving women, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs who are wildly successful on paper and privately exhausted. Like they've built the business, they're helping others transform every single day, and they're running on empty. So I'm the one that comes in and helps them receive support to create a better business, a better life, less complexity, more influence, more income, and more fun.
I love that. I love that because today we have a very cool topic, the rebirth of receiving, right? And we were just chatting a little bit just before jumping live. And I said, like feminine energy is all about receiving, but somewhere along the line, we forgot about it because there was too many responsibilities. We have to be independent. We have to carry. And guess what? The more we carry, the more, like we are stepping away from who we are naturally, right? And we are constantly in that giving and pushing. And now this is the time where we are just stepping back and saying to ourselves, wait a second. This is not my natural rhythm. This is not who I am, right? And the more we connect with that, the more we know that we are here to receive more love, receive more money, receive more attention, receive more gifts, the compliments, whatever it shows up for us, right? We are here to receive with gratitude. And that's exactly what we are going to talk about.
Yeah, I want to just mention something. In my experience, most high achieving women, we've been conditioned out of the art of receiving.
Mhm,
And
totally.
it's so important. Like you just said it so well. We're wired to give, we're wired to produce, we're wired to perform. And then we forget that receiving is actually where transformation lives. And so I think it's an important problem to dive into. Like, why have we stopped receiving? Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yes. So let's just open up that conversation. So, what was going on with us that we stopped receiving, Terry?
Well, what I've seen in working with 8,000 or so women over these last 30 years is a pattern. And the pattern is these women don't receive rest, they don't receive support, and they don't even receive compliments without deflecting them. Oh, this thing,
Mhm.
I got this at Walmart, right? Or whatever it is. Oh,
Yeah,
my,
right.
right. So when you stop receiving, this is the key. You stop expanding. You hit a ceiling. And I don't mean a strategy ceiling, I mean a soul ceiling. And by the way, Irina, that's exactly what led me to do the work that I do now and eventually a retreat that I'm having, because
Mhm.
I wanted women to understand receiving isn't passive. It's actually one of the most courageous things a woman can do. And so I have a few different areas of receiving that I always talk to women about. Should I mention those real quick?
Absolutely, yes. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So the first is receiving clarity. What does that mean? Letting someone hold space so you can finally hear yourself again. The second is receiving healing, and that's allowing yourself to be witnessed in the parts of you that are tired, grieving, or just ready to let go. Then we have receiving expansion. And what is that? That's saying yes to growth that feels bigger than what you could have orchestrated alone. And then finally, we have receiving your word, manifestation, receiving conscious manifestation, which is
Mhm.
getting so clear on who you're becoming that life just starts meeting you there. So those are the areas: clarity, healing, expansion, and conscious manifestation.
I love that. I love that. And tell a little bit about what was the reason why did you decide to have the retreat? Was it like your first one? Was it your 10th one? Like, what is something that you want people to experience, especially women?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So, being in this industry for such a long time, I've held lots and lots of retreats over the years. And I decided to do this one because I saw too many women trying to manifest from hustle. I have to make this happen. I have to get through this. I have to do this. And I believe in manifesting, and I teach manifesting from alignment. And that only comes when we're willing to receive. So I said, okay, I want to create a container specifically designed around this, a space where women can finally exhale and come back to themselves. And honestly, it's always a little bit humbling when I take a look at what I've done over the years, and I'm always looking at myself and looking at where I am, and it's like, oh, if I look at my own life, I had everything from the outside looking in: business success, 3 beautiful homes, a loving husband, incredible friends. And I was secretly running on fumes. I was giving from a place of depletion and not overflow. So when I had this shift for myself, Irina, I had a health challenge, a really serious one. I have a neurological condition, and it made me get very, very still. And I had to actually be open to receive the healing. I had to let my thoughts lead me rather than my hustle. And in that stillness, everything changed. And from that experience, I drew my experience of what I want to create at this container. The experience taught me you cannot pour from a life that hasn't been refilled. And refilling requires receiving. And that's why I'm passionate about creating this physical space at the retreat, this immersive experience where women can do this work at the deepest level.
I love that. And we have Teresa with the comment. Hello, Teresa. It's great to see you. She says, as a dragon mother, I find I can relate to all as women as well. Totally. Absolutely. And
Yes.
it's fascinating how women can actually just, exchange that beautiful energy with each other, because I feel that we are actually replenishing when we are coming together into the space. Wouldn't you agree, Terry?
I do agree. I think that as women, it's important that we create almost a sisterhood. I had someone talk about the retreat the other day, and she said, oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I signed up for it. It's like sleepaway camp. And I went, huh? And then I realized it is. It's an intimate life design retreat, right? It's in Costa Rica. And it's specifically for the woman who's been giving everything and is ready to finally receive. And then in a safe container, in a safe space, where women can support and uplift women and stay together on the journey. So I want to be really clear. It's not a conference. It's not a boot camp. It's not a strategy weekend. It's a sacred reset where you come in as the woman who's been running the show, and you leave as the woman who knows exactly who she's becoming next, surrounded by a sisterhood.
I love that. That's so, so beautiful and so powerful. So Teresa says that the energies are electric and they mean a lot to us. Yay, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Teresa. Yeah, we are having a great time together. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes. So let's just take a little bit deeper. So I know that a lot of women might agree with us, but they are like still not giving themselves permission. So I think the decision still are in their hands, because again, we always can say, oh, I do not have time, I do not have money, I do not have the energy to do it. But then again, we are the ones who are standing on the way in order to receive it. Wouldn't you agree, Terry?
I do. The only thing that ever stops us is ourselves. And the question I always share with my client family members is, how are you going to find a way or make a way? Not how are you going to make another excuse. And those four things that I talked about earlier are the things that get in the way. One is clarity. You're allowing yourself to be distracted by all this noise. Two is you're not releasing the feeling that you have to just overgive, overprove, overwork. Three is you're not activating an expansive version of yourself that's going, I'm going to open myself up and say yes to more joy, more income, and more freedom. And fourth is that conscious manifestation. If you aren't willing to create a real vision and a life first plan to step into that vision, sadly, a year from now, most likely you're going to be in the same exact place, right, Irina?
Absolutely. And I can't underestimate the help of the coach, right? Because when we are new, and even if, like I've been in this field for, over 7 years, and it's still like I want to be working with the coach because I do not see my blind spot. And I know that this is the shortcut, right? And again, a lot of times people feel that they have to do it themselves. Again, receive the help. Be open to receive the help because the help is always available if we ask for it.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. You see, when I was planning the retreat, this is really where I was coming in. I wanted to keep it intentional. I wanted to keep it small and deeply transformative because we all need coaches. I get asked this all the time. Well, Terry, do you have a coach? 100% I have a coach. Well, why do you have a
Mhm,
coach? And you
mhm.
said it. We don't see our own blind spots, right? So
Ah,
I set this up where you can get tons of coaching. I'm not the only coach. I'm bringing the top mentors that I know. And you're going to be in probably the most energetically alive place that I've been able to find on the planet, which is this amazing place we're going to in Costa Rica. And so, just open yourself up to saying yes when an invitation shows up, whether it's this or something else. Instead of creating a story as to why you can't do something, rebirth begins by changing that story and saying yes, yes, yes. Teresa is aligned as a proud mother of four to receive what I'm talking about, right? And that's the biggest thing, is that you have to take a breath and say, am I truly being open to receive? If you're listening and there's something in you that even leans in a little, that lights up a little, really get this. That's not a coincidence. That's you receiving an invitation. And I find that that's a really important thing to say because we very often start making excuses and
mhm.
reasons that hold us back.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so we are just going to quickly go for a little short commercial, and we are coming back with more great stuff. So hang on, don't go anywhere, and we will be right back. All right. All right, and we are back with our great conversation. I'm here in studio with Terry Levine, and we are talking about the rebirth of receiving. And Terry has this beautiful retreat that is coming up. When is your retreat?
It starts on May 17th, and as of this morning, we only have 4 places left. So
Oh,
if it
wow.
calls to you at all, definitely apply and let's have a conversation. And I'll tell you up front, yes, this is the right thing for you, or no, this isn't. So we'll have a conversation and I'll be able to really help you.
So, what do you notice people, I mean, women, right, when they are coming to this space, what happens to them as the transformation?
So what's so interesting to me is sometimes they don't know what the transformation is going to be. So I wanted to share with you. We start doing Zooms right away. We've already done Zooms with the folks who have signed up. We have another one coming up. So we're do pre-Zooms so all the participants get to know each other and get to know the facilitators. And we even do several months of post-Zooms to help you integrate your transformation. And so what I noticed on one of the Zooms is there was one woman who introduced herself by saying, I needed this so badly. I knew the minute I saw this that it was for me. And then she said, and then I tried to talk myself out of it, saying I shouldn't spend the time on myself or the money on myself. And then, this is all her, she said, and then I heard a second voice. And that second voice said, oh, and this is why you need to go. And that was exactly the point, right? We make up stories. I shouldn't take time for myself. I shouldn't spend money on myself. And Irina, that's exactly the pattern that we're actually healing. So in order to get the most from this, you want to look at your own self, your own life, be really honest, and ask yourself, have I truly been giving myself permission to be fully supported? And that's exactly who this is for. It's taking a moment and opening up to that kind of full support. I had one other quick story for you. On the same Zoom, we're going around and people are introducing themselves. And one woman started at the beginning and she said, I'm not sure why I signed up. Everything in my life is great, blah, blah, blah. And about 20 minutes into it, she raises her hand on the Zoom and I call on her and she goes, I was lying. It's like, what? And she said, I'm not truly happy in all areas. And if I'm not honest with myself, I'm not going to be honest at the retreat. So I felt like before we even got there, already
Right.
she was having a breakthrough. Pretty cool, huh?
Beautiful. Teresa likes your purple nail polish.
I saw that. Purple's my favorite color, Teresa.
Yeah, and so is for her. Yeah, she does beautiful dragon art. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So what else is something I love it because I love this conversation because again, why we are not open to receive because this is how the society viewed us, right? We have to be the mothers, we have to be the daughters, we have to be the partners. So everybody comes first before us. And now we are relearning. Now we know that we cannot fill the cup if ours is empty, right? We cannot give it to anybody else if we are right now not at that space, right?
Yeah. So if you think about what the airplane thing, they always tell you grab the oxygen mask, put it on yourself first, right? Before you help a kid or you help an elderly person or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's the same thing as women. We have to be open to the moment and we have to allow ourselves, even as you're listening to the conversation with Irina and myself, if you feel yourself like exhale for just a tiny little bit while you're listening to us, then that's how you know that it is time for you to truly be open to receive. And I like that we call it the rebirth of receiving. When we're little kids, we don't have all this programming. We just receive. We love receiving, whatever it is. And as we get older, we stop being open to receiving. So when you look at where we're listening right now to the retreat, and you're listening to it being intimate and intentional, and I'm personally connecting with every interested woman, you have to take a moment and you have to say to yourself, how can I be open to receive, whether it's this or something else? How can I be open to receive? Like, I cannot tell you how many times a teacher has appeared right in front of me, a gift has appeared right in front of me, and I'm being transparent, Irina, sometimes I'm not open to receive and I've missed out. And so I live very differently right now. I always ask, how can I say yes, yes, yes? How can I stay open and curious? And my feeling is the rebirth of receiving starts with the moment you say yes to yourself. And that moment can be right now. It's all about saying yes.
I love that. We do not wait for the perfect moment we created. And we can do it right now, right? Because this is all we have. We are having the present moment.
Exactly.
And a lot of times we are just waiting and saying, I will do it later. but later we do not know if it's coming, right? So it's so beautiful just to learn to live in the present moment and make all our choices and decisions from that.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Being open
Hmm.
and curious. I just want to add those two words. I said it, I think,
Yeah.
a few times, just as a reminder. Always be open and curious. I mean, I'm always open to having conversations, meeting new people. Why am I so open? Because that's how magic happens. People live in this world as human connecting with human, doing business even heart to hearts. My company is called Heartrepreneur for that reason. And so I'm always open and curious, and I'm always saying, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes to myself over and over and over again. And that, again, is the rebirth of receiving.
That's so beautiful. Yes. Teresa says something.
Oh, Teresa, I'm so glad to meet you and to get to know you. We have a similar heart, all three of us.
Yeah, look at us. Yeah. All in love with purple color. Beautiful, beautiful. So, Terry, do you have any tips for people or tools? How do we actually start receiving,
Great question.
right?
So
How do
this
we actually open ourselves? Mm-hmm.
The first thing is to change the questions you ask and the way you talk to yourself. So, the first thing I do in the morning is I set up a process of what I call GID, gratitudes, intentions, and delegations. So, first I give gratitude for whatever it might be, waking up, having food, having heat, air conditioning, whatever it might be, waking up at the beach here in Mexico. Intentions. How do you
Mm-hmm.
choose to feel during the day? So, one of the ways you can change your thinking is create an intention. I'm going to connect with as many people as possible. I'm going to start saying yes to myself. I'm going to be open to receive. I'm going to be open and curious. And then D is for delegations. You don't know the how of many different things. How is this going to work out? How is this for me? So constantly just delegating the universe. Hey, bring me the right people, put the right things in front of me, and I'm just going to stay open to receive. That's the first. The second tip that I have, and you kind of just hit on this, so I'll piggyback on it. We come in and we're born and we all know our birth dates. They don't stamp a checkout date on our foot when we come in. We don't know when we're
Mm-hmm.
leaving. We're all going to leave. It might be in this moment. Hopefully, it's not for a lot of moments. So, if you live your life talking about what could have been, it's over and can't be redone. If you live your life with a bucket list and what you're planning on, you might never get those moments. The gift is the present, right here, right now. That is the gift. And you're only here in the present moment. And the present moment can be open to your rebirth of receiving by now starting to say yes, yes, yes to yourself and
Mm-hmm.
opportunities.
So beautiful. I love that tip. Beautiful, Terry. Yeah. It just, like just bringing the awareness, right? Because
Exactly.
a lot of times we are just going through the motions without actually pausing and saying what is really important for us, right?
Exactly.
And the more we sit with that question, the more we start seeing that, because the quality of the question is going to determine the quality of the answer that we are receiving. And we start like really tuning in and understand, like the life is not just to hustle. The life is really to connect to ourselves and do something that sets our heart on fire, something connecting with the like-minded souls, right? Just exchange these beautiful energies. And this is exactly what we are doing right now, right? And thanks God we have the internet. Thanks God we come into the podcast. Thanks God you have, Terry, your retreat. So whatever resonates from this conversation today, I invite each one of you, just connect with Terry, connect with me, whoever you resonate, and just like let's continue learning how to receive on a deeper level. Even if you feel ashamed, even if you feel guilty, we are here to help you to go through that, because again, this is not why we are here. Women are here to really claim that receiving energy, because that's who we are naturally. And the more we are staying in that receiving energy, the more world becomes a better place. right? And that's exactly what we are doing. All right. Anything else you want to add, Terry, before we wrap it up?
No, just if you find yourself leaning into the conversation, I'd love to personally connect with you. Just fill out an application. Let's have a real conversation together and let's see if it's the right next step for you. And just remember, the rebirth of receiving starts the moment you say yes to yourself. And I'm inviting you to choose that moment right now.
Beautiful. Love it. And thanks so much, Teresa, for keeping our chat going, for having fun with us. We love you all. And I'll see everybody on the next episode. Connect with Terry. Bye.